If you earn around $90,000 in Australia and still feel like you're falling behind, you're not imagining it. You're doing what you were told to do, you're working hard, you're progressing on paper, but financially it feels tighter every year. That feeling isn't personal and it isn't failure. It's because $90,000 doesn't mean what it used to. In 2014, a $90,000 salary placed you well above the Australian median income. At the time, that level of pay supported rising housing costs, normal savings, and some financial breathing room. Fast forward to today. After inflation and cost of living increases, that same $90,000 salary has the buying power of roughly $60,000 to $65,000. This isn't about lifestyle inflation, it's about essentials, housing, transport, insurance, food. On paper, your income increased. In reality, your purchasing power went backwards. You work hard, you stay reliable, you take on more responsibility, and eventually that effort is supposed to turn into meaningful pay growth. That belief made sense years ago, but today it quietly breaks down because promotions no longer come with real repricing. In many cases, a promotion adds responsibility first and pay much later, often just a few percent, enough to feel acknowledged, not enough to materially change your financial position. So while your job becomes harder, your lifestyle stays constrained. That's the tension most people feel. They're progressing professionally, but standing still financially. If you're early in your career, this probably isn't your problem yet. Early on, any income increase feels meaningful, but this changes quickly if you're in your late 20s, 30s, or early 40s and earning between $80,000 and $100,000. This is the zone where income growth quietly slows. Not because you stopped performing, but because your role stopped being reevaluated. This is where many professionals get stuck. Not struggling, but not moving forward either. This video is for people who feel that stall, but haven't been able to explain it. Here's the core problem most professionals never see. Income doesn't grow continuously, it grows in steps. And those steps are controlled by how often your role is reevaluated by the market. Inside a company, your pay is anchored to your previous salary. That anchor matters more than your performance. Even if you outperform, raises are usually incremental. 3%, 4%, maybe 5% on a good year, enough to signal appreciation, not enough to reflect your true market value. This is because employers don't constantly reprice roles. They only do it when something forces the issue, a vacancy, a resignation, a competing offer, a critical skills shortage. Without one of those triggers, your salary drifts upward slowly, while your responsibilities expand much faster. That gap is how underpayment forms, not suddenly, but quietly. This is where leverage comes in. Leverage is anything that forces your role to be re-evaluated by the market, not emotionally, structurally. The most common lever is a lateral market move, not a promotion, not a dramatic career pivot, a move into a role that uses similar skills but sits in a function the market prices higher. This works because companies don't price effort, they price scarcity, revenue impact, and replacement difficulty. Two professionals with comparable workloads can be valued very differently based purely on where their role sits in the organization or industry. When you move laterally, your previous salary anchor breaks. The new employer prices you based on current market demand, budgeted role value, and urgency. That reset is where the jump happens. This is how many professionals add $15,000 to $25,000 in one move, not by doing more, but by being priced correctly. This is the part that makes people uncomfortable, because once you see it, it's hard to unsee. Most professionals are taught a simple story early in their careers. Work hard, be loyal, don't rock the boat, and over time, things will work out. The problem is that this story was built for a different labor market. Here's a common example. Two professionals start on similar salaries, both competent, both reliable. One stays, takes on more responsibility, becomes the person everyone depends on. The other leaves after 3 or 4 years, moves laterally to a similar role at another company. 5 years later, the second person is often earning $20,000 or more than the first. Not because they're smarter, not because they work harder, but because they force the market to reprice their role. The uncomfortable truth is that loyalty mainly protects organizations. Without leverage, there is no urgency to adjust pay. So salaries drift while expectations compound. That's how underpayment becomes permanent. If $90,000 feels tight, the problem usually isn't effort, discipline, or ambition. It's a strategy mismatch. You're using a progression model that no longer aligns with how the market works. Once you understand this, something important happens. The frustration becomes explainable, and what's explainable becomes actionable. Instead of asking, why isn't this working? You start asking, where does the market actually reprice roles? That shift alone changes outcomes, because being underpaid isn't a personal failure, it's a structural position, and positions can be changed. In the next video, I'll break down the specific career move many Australians use to quietly add around $20,000 without starting over, without going back to uni, and without working longer hours. It's not obvious, and most people don't realize it's available to them until they see how the market actually works. If this video felt uncomfortably familiar, that next one will matter.